Hello and welcome to the United Stand. It's your latest Manchester United transfer news where we talk about all the latest Manchester United transfer news, and it's Monday. It's Monday, and that means that on Thursday it will be the end of the transfer window. Will Manchester United make any moves in the next few days? We'll be talking about that in a moment, but first of all, I think we should have a moment of reflection, and our thoughts really do need to go out to the boys at Arsenal Fan TV. They took one hell of a beating on Friday night. Piers Morgan, Danny DeVito, and whatever anybody else. But look, we went down there and we literally danced all over their grave, didn't we? Lingard was there with the moonwalk. Rance was out there giving it. Flex was out there giving it. I'd been down there early in the week. And look, the good news is we are going to be down there in a few weeks to do it again to you in the league. So, you know, maybe you could just get lucky. But for now, it's ching time for Manchester United. But will we be winners this week in the transfer window? Ins and outs, 4 days left. I've got to be honest with you, there's so much positivity around Manchester United at the moment. If you didn't watch the show last night with me and Rance, real positivity around Solskjaer and maybe the future of Manchester United. But I will say that in relation to the board, disappointed with this transfer window so far. Really disappointed that we've chosen to waste 31 days, 4.5 weeks of a transfer window. Yes, it's January, but we've got too many players not good enough, and we need to bring 4 or 5 players in, and we've left ourselves with probably an impossible mission in the summer. And this is what I was always saying. People can say, let's see who the manager's going to be in the summer, but the most important thing is, Are you telling me we can get rid of 5 players in the summer and bring 5 players in? That's 10 deals. No way, that can't be done. So we already know we're not going to get the business we need to be done in the summer. Outs and ins. We just can't do 10 deals. Woodward cannot do that amount of deals. You'd have to be Superman or Superwoman to do that amount of deals. It's ridiculous. So we will still have some deadwood next season, and we won't get all the players we need in. And that is because we've wasted this transfer window, and that's my personal opinion. Can we salvage anything from these next few days? Well, I think if we're going to, I would say that it's going to be outs. And there's talk of Antonio Valencia, going to Newcastle or Fulham and in the next few days, which I think would be a positive because he's a senior pro who's not getting game time at Manchester United. So that would be interesting, and that would be a deal I'd be happy with because it's removal of deadwood, which is what we need to do. And Darmian as well is being talked of in relation to Valencia. Again, Matteo Darmian actually came in and did a decent job at the back a few weeks ago, but he's not involved. He's basically an experienced international taking up a spot in the squad. So if Valencia and Darmian went, even if it was just those two going and we didn't sign anyone, I would still be relatively happy because we've cleared 2 players out of the 5 I believe we need to get rid of. So that would be good. And we'd only have Jones, Fellaini and probably I don't know, but 5 players is what we need to get rid of anyway. In regards to the ins, I think we're looking at, as we've mentioned before, I want to start off with Rebic. Had a very, very good World Cup in Croatia, with Croatia in Russia. He has actually come out and said that he wants to play in the Premier League. It would suit his game. Now, is that a deal we're going to do in the next 3 or 4 days? No, it's not. Is it a deal we could do in the summer? Maybe. He's at Eintracht Frankfurt in Germany. He's done relatively well. He's 25 years of age. He's a grafter. I mean, to be honest with you, Perisic, Inter Milan are sort of trying to get rid of him, and our name's being linked to him. Arsenal are being strongly linked to them. Let them take the L again, because I would not want Perisic at Manchester United. I felt he was a risk 2 years ago because of his age, but I did like him as a footballer. But if Arsenal are going to take him at 30, let him have him. I do not want him anywhere near United. But Rebic, he's not as good as Perisic, but he could be as good as Perisic over the next couple of years because he's got a couple of developments in him. And he is a similar player. He can play off the left, off the right. He's a grafter. He can score goals. He can create goals. I do like Rebic, and maybe he's a name to keep an eye on in the summer because we were certainly linked to him last summer, but it ain't going to happen now. The only deal I think that we could do in the next few days, there's 2. There's Steven Bergwijn, who is of PSV. Again, scored again at the weekend, doing very, very good for PSV. There is a fee. Well, the news is that Manchester United have asked to be asked to be kept informed about Steven Bergwijn. Right? He can play off the right. He can play off the left. He can play up front. To be honest with you, you'd have him as part of the team, and with Lingard, Rashford, Martial, and maybe Sanchez, you've got 5 forwards there. He's very quick. He's got a good shot on him, and he's young, and he can become very good. Obviously, you've got to have worries because we tried to do that with Memphis and it didn't work out. But to be honest with you, there's always a risk with a transfer. But my concern with this is like, why can't we just do it now? Why can't we go and sign him now? The Dutch league isn't the richest league in the world. If you walked in and went, there's 40 million, which in today's market is reasonable, they would take the money. They would take the money today, and we would have a player that we don't need to sign in the summer then, and we can have a look at other areas. So I don't know why we can't just do it today. It worries me when we say, well, we've been asked to be kept informed, because that just leaves you open to lose, because Liverpool apparently like him. There's talk of Bayern Munich liking him, and if we're asking to be kept informed, you don't. I mean, it's like, there's a car on the your favourite car. You drive past it on your way to work every day. It's on the car forecourt of your local dealer, and you ring them up and you say, that car on the drive, I really like it. If you get an offer on it, let us know. And then if that offer's too much, you don't buy it. You're just like, it's just not my day. I hate that attitude from Manchester United. If you like the car, just go and buy it now. Don't say, let us know if you get any offers on it, because we might put an offer in, because you're probably going to lose out then. Just go and get the deal done. And you look at I know he doesn't join Barcelona till the summer, De Jong, but they've still gone out and done that deal. I think just go and do the deal with him. So it could happen in the next few days. The other one is Barella at Cagliari in Italy. Midfielder, there's an indication that he'd find an offer from Manchester United hard to refuse. Maybe £43 million. Decent midfield option. I think he's in his early 20s now, if I remember correctly. And box to box. Exciting. It's sort of, from what I've seen of him, he'd sort of be the next Herrera. He's that sort of midfielder, but I think he's got the potential to be better. That's a possibility, but again, I think you're looking at the summer. And I think it's very easy, and I know a lot of you will be saying in the comments right now, well, you know what, it's hard to do business in January, but it's never hard to do business in January if you are aggressive, and you need to be aggressive. How the hell have Chelsea got Higuain from AC Milan on loan, and then they'll buy him in the summer, when it's AC Milan's number one forward, and they don't really want to let him go, but they forced that deal through. And they've not given AC Milan anything as a replacement. It's not like a swap deal or anything like that. Aggression can happen in the January transfer window. It's about how aggressive you want to be. Of course, I ain't going to moan too much, because I look at Arsenal. They've got an injury crisis. They've not done anything. Spurs, they've got an injury crisis. They've not done anything. So when you look around us in this race for top four, we're not in a bad position. We've got momentum. We've won 8 games in a row. We've just beaten Arsenal easily. We've beaten Spurs. The momentum's with us, so I'm confident we can get top 4, and Eric Bailly played well at the weekend. But I just wonder, when we do have losses, if we do have losses, I think we have wasted this transfer window, I've got to be honest, and I think they're hiding behind. Look, I'll listen to a football fan say, look, Mark, I wouldn't have spent the money now, and this is the reason why. I'll listen to that, but I ain't going to listen to anything from the club, because they're just sitting on a pot of gold again. They're not really saying, yeah, let's not buy anyone now, let's wait until the summer. They're sitting there going, the longer we don't buy anybody, the more that money earns interest. That's what it's all about, and we can put it in our own pocket or something like that. That's what annoys me about the board. They didn't spend much money last year, and they haven't spent much money this year. So it does annoy me, because I think that there's a lot of work that needs to be done at United, and we just wasted a transfer window. But you never know. You never know. Something could happen in the next few days, and I hope that it does. I really do. Talking about such things as transfer deals, I wanted to bring in Andreas Pereira here. We spoke about him a bit last night. What is his future? What is Fred's future? Andreas Pereira, like Juan Mata, like Ander Herrera, like Ashley Young, like Phil Jones, they're all free to go in the summer. I think Pereira's going to go, isn't he? He is just not getting any game time. Quite rightly, he's not going to get in the team with Matic, Herrera and Pogba playing how they are. And he's not going to sign a new contract. So that's very sad. I think he will go, just in summary of that. I feel that Ander Herrera will sign a new contract. Why wouldn't he? He's a first teamer for United at the moment. I think Young and Jones will be offered new contracts. I don't necessarily agree with that, because one's 34 and one's crap, but I think they will be offered one. Juan Mata, I think he'll be offered one. It's whether he decides to take it. So I think Pereira will go, Jones, Young, Herrera will stay, and Mata, I'm not too sure about. He might just think, I'm not playing regularly. I might just go back home to Spain. So we'll see about that. But that's how I feel about that one at the moment. Also, I just want to mention as well, Sven-Goran Eriksson, Sony Eriksson, Christian Eriksen of Spurs. They're obviously not having a great time at the moment. And again, we spoke about that last night with the Pochettino thing. Obviously, they lost in the cup, in both cups. They're out of both cups now. And Eriksen is a player that's not apparently going to sign a new contract at Spurs. Very, very good player, Premier League proven. And I think there is that link that maybe Manchester United would like to buy him. My feeling about this is it's very apt when we just mentioned Juan Mata there. I think if you bought Eriksen, you're almost buying Juan Mata like we did under Moyes. And Juan Mata's played at United under 4 managers. If you count Giggs, Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho, and now Ollie, it's 5 managers, and we've never got the best out of Juan Mata. And I think if you did bring Eriksen to United, I don't think it's even those managers' faults. I just think it's the way Manchester United have to set up. We have to always have the wider players, whether we use them correctly. Ollie does, Mourinho didn't. And that's the number 10 is a luxury that we can't afford when we play wide forwards. Because you've got to have your midfield 3 that grafts. And Eriksen will graft, but I don't think you could have a midfield 3 of Pogba, Eriksen and Matic, or Pogba, Eriksen and Herrera. I just don't think you could do that. I think you could do Pogba, Eriksen and Kante. You'd have to have a CDM who is ridiculously energetic and tenacious to allow you to have the 2 creative midfielders of Pogba and Eriksen, but we haven't got that. So I just don't think the number. And actually, Eriksen in the midfield 3, you want him to be the more attacking midfielder, in which we've got Pogba for that. So you don't want him playing off the wide players where Lingard or Martial or Sanchez play either. So I don't think Eriksen suits us. As much as he's a brilliant player, absolutely brilliant, and why would he not be linked to Manchester United? But my personal opinion with someone like Eriksen and a Coutinho to a certain extent, or any number 10, is that I just don't know, and Dybala as well. I just don't know where they fit in for Manchester United. And even Griezmann, as much as I liked Griezmann's not really his best off the wide. He's better off, sort of off the forward as a sort of number 10 or even a number 9 himself. So I just don't see, I think we all get enamoured by those sort of signings, but I just do not see that signing being that much of a good one. And I'll call it the Juan Mata effect, because when we signed Juan Mata, I was absolutely ecstatic. He was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And we've just never got the best out of him. He's done good things. Wanfield, a brilliant professional, absolutely superb human being off the pitch, but we've just not got the best out of Mata. We've played him in the wrong position so many times. We didn't get the best out of Mkhitaryan for the same reason. We didn't get the best out of Kagawa for the same reason, because we never just gave them that number 10 position and built a team around them to sort of dictate it. We just never did it. We were like, yeah, you can play, but you've got to play on the wing and track back, and it's just not for them. And you can't do that with a player of Eriksen's quality. You certainly cannot. And I wouldn't want us to do that anyway. So, yeah, it's interesting with Manchester United over the next few days. I mean, what I want people to do on today's show especially, get in the comments and tell us what you think about this transfer window. Do you feel we have wasted it? Have the board wasted it? Because the one thing that stands out to me is that if Mourinho was here, we were going to sign players this January. That was going to happen. Mourinho had said it was going to happen, and it was going to happen. They'd planned to bring players in. And Mourinho gets the sack, and they decided not to do that. So basically, it's about keeping money back until the summer. But for me, as I said at the start of the show, I feel that is just a waste of an opportunity with this transfer window. So get your comments in below about that. And also, what positions you really think we should be looking at now? Because some people have changed their mind about the centre-back now. They're like, Lindelof and Bay's good enough. Do we need to spend 90 million on a Koulibaly or someone like that? So get involved and have your say on that. Also, link in the video description for Football Index. I know a lot of you have been playing this of lately. You can do so. Link in the video description. Remember, you've got to be over 18 and do gamble responsibly. Effectively, it's the game where you can buy real shares in real footballers and watch their price go up and go down. As you can see, I've been doing this for a few weeks now, and I'm in profit of £172.25. Most of my players I'm in profit with, but I must just give you a little bit of a warning. I did buy 10 shares in Koulibaly a couple of weeks ago because I thought he would move in January, and his price has started to drop because he's probably clearly not going to move in January. I will keep hold of him though, because he'll move in the summer and his price will go up, and that's how I do it. Bale was a bad signing for me. I do need to offload him, but I'm hoping that he's going to have a good end to the season. The same with Ronaldo, his price will be fine. And Chong's dropped off a little bit, but I did get hold of Higuain before he moved at £2.73 a share. He's up to £4.06 a share. I'll keep hold of him now because I can see his price going up and up. I'd jump on Higuain even now. And obviously a lot of the United players as well doing really well with. And basically price goes up on performance, and it also goes up on them being in the news. And it's not always just about transfer news, it can be any sort of news, and their price will go up on that. I would say if you're going to have a go at it, get yourself on the forums, have a little look about. But realistically, if you play Football Manager or you play Ultimate Team or anything like that, and you've got a decent amount of football knowledge, you'll know from your club what players are going to be good in the future and jump on them. I mean, I'd go in with at least 20 quid because some of the players, if you look at Aubameyang, he's £5 a share, so you'd only get 4 shares for 20 quid. But It's good. I've really enjoyed it. The link's in the video description, and I'm going to continue with it. I was sort of going to give it a trial for a month or so, but I actually have enjoyed it. I do sometimes enjoy a traditional bet, so to speak, but I quite like the fact that with Football Index there is an element of personal knowledge and skill, whereas on a football bet, you know, you bet a tenner that United are going to win because you think they're going to win, but you never know, it might be one of them days where they draw and then you lose your tenner. Whereas with this, you know, I can see my losses in my portfolio, but I'll choose to keep them because I think their prices will go back up again. I have bought a player before where it was just dropping and dropping, and I got rid of them because I thought, right, I'm going to lose money on that one. But in the main, there's a lot of players I've made a profit on there, which is great. And 172 quid in 5 weeks is pretty good profit, and that will keep going up as well. And I'll keep you updated. Anyway, links in the video description for that. Give it a go. Live at 1 o'clock with a preview for the Burnley game, and tonight it's the calling at 8 o'clock. So drop a like on video, subscribe if you're new, give us your comments below on this transfer window, and I'll see you all at 1 o'clock. And do give Football Index a go if you fancy it. Thanks for watching.